I tend to believe that the pendulum is at its peak. I can't imagine it getting much weirder. I think there's going to be a split and ultimately a return to tradition for a lot of people. I mean, even the presence of a person like you, I don't think 5 years ago there were people that were out there helping men overcome. In fact, it was such a shameful thing that no one would even bring it up. I think this generation, part of the problem is this lack of shame. I remember, when I was in middle school and whatnot, and when boys start jerking off, it was a quiet thing. We didn't bring it up. We kind of knew, or we joke on the sly with one another. But now I'm getting emails, or there's entire YouTube channels, and like everybody's just straight out in the open about pornography and masturbation addiction and all these things that at one point maybe it wasn't so good that it was undercover, but now that it's out, it has to be confronted, it has to be dealt with, and I see people dealing with it in a way that is mature and overcoming. And they say hard times create strong men. I think this is the generation that's facing the hard times that are going to create strong men. It doesn't have to be bombs and bullets dropping at your front door to be living in a hard time. We're living in a faithless time. We're looking at a time where marriage and family doesn't work. We're looking at a time where addiction to all kinds of diabolical things, not just drugs, pervade and are ever present in the lives of men and people. So I can't help but to believe or have hope that we're going to be seeing a big turnaround here pretty soon. What do you think?
Yeah, no, and I think I would definitely agree with you. I think I was trying to answer the question in a way that if we don't fix it and solve it, this is where it could potentially lead, right? But I've been at the forefront of leading this conversation for a little over 3 years now, and I have even just seen an acceptance and the willingness for people to talk to me about it, right? So it definitely has grown, and it's become much more accepted. You're seeing more people like myself rise up. You're seeing more, coaches out there. You're seeing more programs. It's been interesting because, we've talked about Anna Lemke's book, a handful of times. Like Dr. Anna Lemke has sat down with Joe Rogan. Million plus people have heard that. She opens up her book with her personal story from a physician, not a physician, but she's a psychologist. So from an expert trained in the field, struggled with a female's version of pornography. So I think hearing it more discussed out there. I have another great friend, Joshua Broom. Josh was one of the he was one of the leading porn stars in the world. He actually won the honor for male performer of the world. And the night he was supposed to get his award, he was at home contemplating suicide. He's now turned his life around. He's got an incredible movement. He's a pastor, huge platform. He's been on Tucker Carlson. So we're seeing the conversation accepted more mainstream now, and it's no longer layered with when I go on a show, hey guys, we're gonna have the taboo conversation that nobody wants to talk about. So I agree with you, man. I'm definitely an eternal optimist. I think we are seeing a turn for the better. And once again, man, not to keep talking about planting my flag here, but that's why I have planted it as deeply as I could, because right. I did see, and I was having this conversation with somebody earlier today, man. I think if you go back to 2015, 17, even when I was getting into it, man, it was very taboo. It was not talked about a lot. And when it was, what type of men did you think about? You thought about weak men, living at home in their mom's basement, can't hold a job down. He's got tomato sauce on his chin 24-hour days a week. And it's for me, it was no, that's not the case, man. Like I said, I gone out and conquered some things in the world, man. I had some worldly success, whatever that means to people, it doesn't matter. But from a projection of you can have your life together and still be struggling with a porn addiction. That was one of the biggest messages that I wanted to share with the world, because I truly think that it could help a lot of people.